Hello there, my name is Bradley and I'm a member of the congregation at St Matt's, and here is my Easter thought. Now, I don't know about you, but the last weeks of work have been incredibly hard. Lots of decisions have had to be made on shifting sands. We've been waiting for decisions to be made by government and authorities. Colleagues' individual circumstances have been changing. We've learned new ways of working and communicating, and that has had its moments. There's been uncertainty about when or if things will return to normal. And if you're anything like me, you've been searching and clinging to anything solid, a voice of authority, a statistic, a sign of hope from a nation that seems to be coming out the other side. And whilst this has been going on, at St Matt's in the Minster, we have walked with the disciples from the certainty and joy of Palm Sunday to the confusion in the Garden of Gethsemane and the fear at what happened at the place of crucifixion, the place of the skull. We have seen every bit of solid ground torn in two in front of the disciples' eyes. And then into this gloom, the sun breaks and the sun rises. Words are remembered, things are seen, truth is recognised. It's never going to be the same for the disciples. There is still a lot to be worried about. But we see Jesus eating with them once again and reminding them that they are on solid ground. He tells them that Christ will suffer and rise from the dead on the third day, and repentance and forgiveness of sins will be preached in his name to all nations. What an amazing breakfast that must have been. To sit once more with their rabbi and to realise that everything he said would happen did. The doubts and fears must have washed away. Now, things have been challenging at work recently, and I suspect that for many of us, we're going to be dealing with rapid change for some time to come. Relationships may be unsettled, finances stretched. The picture of the future is a bit blurry. Ever since I went away to school at the age of 11, my dad has been an expert proponent of the well-timed letter. And this week was one of those times. In his most recent epistle on a vaguely relevant postcard from the collection in his drawer, he reminded me of Psalm 62. David, like the disciples, is struggling with those in opposition to him, but he finds the wherewithal to write and sing words that could well have been sung by the women on the way back from the empty tomb, the walkers on the road to Emmaus, the disciples on the banks of the lake after their breakfast, or by us as a prayer in our strange and uncertain times. Find rest, O my soul, in God alone. My hope comes from him. He alone is my rock and my salvation. He is my fortress, I shall not be shaken. My salvation and my honour depend on God alone. He is my mighty rock and my refuge. Trust in him at all times, O people. Pour out your hearts to him, for God is our refuge. Amen.